All right. Doctor Who is starting to show us something. The trend is showing that people are rejecting this kind of stuff. Now, the thing is, the Doctor Who, the people who are going to be all upset about it, the most important thing about them getting upset about this is really what really Doctor Who kind of did. So somebody was talking about by the end of this, you have a musical piece. Oh my God, Bikini Party still going. Dude. So no matter how bad the Northwest is, there's these moments where I'm like, look at the birds, look at the beautiful birds. And then look at those birds over there, you know what I mean? Yeah, chasing the birds, mate, chasing the birds, you know. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, perfectly sane. Look at these birds over here. Bare bottom birds all over the place. So, low culture. Doctor Who and gay stuff like that is now low culture. So, while like the humor of Are You Being Served might have been something that people kind of remember, how like kind of not funny. Wow, ass everywhere. But the thing that really has become important, and the bros have no abs. That's the sad part. And so the thing that's actually occurred that now is kind of the best part about it is that with the behavior that people are now taking on, the showrunner for Doctor Who, if you see him smile, he does a Stelter smile. He does that really weirdly inhuman grommet type of smile where it's this weird thing of teeth but no eyes smiling. So you get this kind of, he's not really, you know, that dead behind the eyes thing of so many liberals, you know, that liberals, so many now have the dead behind the eyes, and especially the gender sexuals have like these weird evil smiles, dead behind the eyes kind of looks to them. But now this is starting to pan out that it's like the rejection of this is showing the right discusses high-level philosophy on YouTube. The right constantly cites big fat books. The right is citing big ideas now. The left is becoming now low culture. Vulgar, it's always about genitalia. Every single subject has to have something to do with the mysterious wonders of genitals. It's constantly like now, one of the things somebody was saying about Doctor Who is that he constantly poses, that there's just all these shots where he's posed. This was actually something that I picked up on in movies that I was like, that's so weird. What's the deal with these shots in movies now? And because it was low quality camera work. So they're like, look at this epic shot of this person in front of the burning thing, you know, it's so epic, you know, and so now it's like, this is just low culture. This is just bad cinema. But the thing is, it's a key thing about now the culture of the Democrats and liberals is that now they can't be bad at it. They have degrees in cinema. So they can't be bad at cinema. The movies have to be brilliant. They all have degrees. It doesn't matter if they've made movies that have made money, made television shows that made money. With the showrunner from Doctor Who, this is actually somebody who did make money, but he made money mostly making shows about being gay and his experience as a gay man, you know, and after a while it's like, okay, you know, but can you write anything else? And it's turning out that actually, in fact, almost none of these people in the kind of DEI art world, the die art die world, can write anything but their own personal experience in a way that's really underwhelming on top of it. You have to kind of sit there kind of like, really? This is supposed to be really good? And now there's no way around this. And I really, really, really have to stress that idea that now it's coming across as low culture. That yeah. And that also there's this kind of unfortunate part that this is starting to show, because a lot of this stuff, when you see who big ups it, it's a lot of like not attractive black women. It's people who are obviously gay, white middle class gay people who are like college age or just after that, and as if people don't understand what's going. And so I really want to stress this idea. It's show business. Show business. So you actually have to sell the tickets. You have to sell tickets. That's it. It's show business. It doesn't matter that you want to think what you made was good. Rollerball actually sold some tickets, and then for a decade afterward, people knew what it was because they would see it on TV and would watch it. A lot of people don't get that. It's like, no, there's a lot of stuff that it's like, there's a lot of things that people don't get. They vanished because they weren't that popular, even though they might have been good. Other things, they vanished because they don't make sense in the time that they're in. Then there's things like what's been going on with the die art, with death art, and dead art. This art that has to do with politics, with left-wing liberal politics of the United States, in the Eurosphere, entirely the Western Eurosphere. Because none of this is art that would. This isn't Night Watch. This isn't something that you could glean as loosely Eastern European. Even when it is Eastern European, death art ruins it. When something was already written for Eastern Europe, out of Eastern Europe, and of course people probably will guess I'm referring to The Witcher, that even then, these death art people have to ruin it. And so now it's becoming your low culture. And it will never matter that you think otherwise. That's the beauty of it. Men decide this. In the long run, men who could cite Cicero decide this. Not Buttman. Buttman doesn't decide what high culture is. None of you are Gore Vidal. None of you are or will ever be Gore Vidal. You're not Kevin Spacey. You're just not. And so it's really a matter of we're going to absolutely love watching so many people just lose all their money. There's nothing with the right and is loving more. And this is the thing. I was raised with Ames chairs. I was raised with Ames chairs around. One of my greatest things that I inherited was an Ames chair because my grandfather, James Donovan, so loved the Ames design. He so loved Bauhaus design. So loved modernist design. So now a lot of people just have to start understanding that there's some of us that we know you aren't Thelonious Monk people. It is low culture. Robin Hood in Robin the Hood or whatever that was supposed to be up in Canada. Low culture. Like all these Return to Wakanda. This is low culture. All of it. it's just lower and lower and lower culture. And one of the main reasons is because it has to appeal to college educated women who don't really read much nonfiction, because that's almost definitive of the liberals now. They're people who do not read nonfiction. And so nothing else really matters. So I'm just, just going to leave it there. That there's not really a way around this. The artists who want to make movies and start getting, like, what did Tarantino do that actually like made it look good? That like kind of, like what, and that's even one that I've actually encountered now, this thing of how there's these like that the present generation, like people just have to give up on trying to entertain liberals. There's really an extent to which that I've thought about this with the art, a lot of the arts. Don't try to aim to entertain liberals. They won't understand. They won't get it. I've really sat back and it took me a while to ask, like, and I'm like, so none of you have heard of the movie Man Bites Dog? And I'm like, okay, so Leon the Cleaner. You all know where Leon the Cleaner comes from. Things like that. I'm like, so not even good independent movies. And then I'm like, the John Woo Dual Wield. They don't know what I'm referring to when I refer to John Woo Dual Wield. They never saw, a whole lot of people, they never saw any of the movies Jet Li made in China. So they have no idea why Jet Li is half as popular as he is. They don't really know why Donnie Yen is as popular as he is. They're like, oh yeah, Ip Man. I'm like, no. No, all the other stuff. And they don't know that. The fact that like Wu-Tang samples Lone Wolf and Cub, that brings remember, rap samples made many of us look backwards to the 70s and 60s. And with that then came a wide variety of retro movements. Remember, remakes of songs from the 50s and 60s were also a thing that made Gen X look backwards and take on like whole styles that no longer existed. Amy Winehouse was a fantastic example of kind of the summary of all of that. That she took on soul music as this British Jewish girl, a British Jewish rude girl, and who had been formally trained and nailed it. And she fucking nailed it. To the point that, like, when you actually look up the story behind it all, you end up finding out she was working with some of the best funk soul people of that period of time who were relatively hot and young. And that was Dap Kings. She was working with Daptone. But Daptone didn't put their name on the album. And you see, things like that, that's high culture, to know those little things. To know about Billy Crystal's father and his import to why was Billy Crystal's father important. You see, none of these wokies will know. They weren't raised in a household that they understand. Like, and really, think of that there is probably no black American who's pro-black who knows why Billy Crystal's dad was important. None of them will know. You could ask them and say, why was Billy Crystal's dad so important to black American culture? And then why did Billy Crystal then make sure to complete his father's work to some degree in a way that has now immortalized one of the most important songs to modern black America? They wouldn't. No pro-black knows this. None of them. Because they don't care. They prefer low culture. They prefer booty twerk and booty juice and orange drink and hoe stank and hood rat, hoochie mama, and then and gay beat. So, oh, oh, Hood. I knew Hood was going to cover. And these hoes got crazy in Congress. God damn. Crazy ass hoes getting crazy in Congress. Yeah. This is so weird. Okay, this is something that some of you might be starting to see. Really weird AI channels. Okay, two AI channel things that's happening. So some of you might have seen I posted this weird soul music thing, and I'm like, I keep finding stuff like this on my feed. Okay, if you play it and watch, there's AI generated album covers throughout some of these videos. So the song's playing, and then there's all these AI generated album covers, and it becomes really obvious. Except the weirdest part is like the blaxploitation artwork on it is amazing. Fucking so amazing and so weird. AI does such weird stuff, dude. And then there's this other one of an AI announcing that the war against Hamas is over and that Hamas has released all the last of the hostages. Like over and over again. I'm getting something that keeps trying to make this claim on YouTube. I've looked this up and I'm like, yeah, there's no news stories that say this. So this is some weird AI generated propaganda that, and I can't even think of who this would benefit. Like who cui bono on this one. Yeah, but it could just be disinformatia and mascaradovia. So, yeah. Oh no. Clayton Morris. No, and also I just want to make sure, also to drop this, that a lot of people who are liberals and stuff, you should start getting this understanding that we know now that there's really something that we know that there's no fixing any of this. We know there's no fixing it. So to a great extent, watching yes, oh yes, watching you all inevitably fail is now just a thing. Now watching your attempts at ruining the country, watching it fail, to the point that you all are going to have to start ginning up some kind of reason that you could like start trying to lock up Trump supporters and stuff, and trying to demonize Trump supporter. We know you all are just, you're legitimately people who don't know. Yeah, there's another one. Hard Archive. You drive like shit. 1965. And oh my God, what is this? It's like these wrecked old schools with a woman with an afro in a dress and heels and a black man under the tire, like over and over again. This is so weird. What is this? And it's like there's all these errors in it. So it'll say like Soul R period B, not R and B. It used the wrong. It didn't put an ampersand in. So that's so weird. And like, yeah, and there's like randomly like there's like a black man with a Tommy gun in the background of one of these. He's just shooting his gun in the air. It just doesn't even make sense. It's so good. I love it though. Yeah. So, there's just, so blue enclaves. You no longer have a nightlife. The only reason you have a nightlife is because you're in red states, like places like Florida and stuff like that. But I mean, there's just too many places that you've all just made it that there's no nightlife there now. There's no reason to be young there. California now is at a stage that, I mean, you guys, California is this is just going to be ruinous for California. And so a lot of liberals just have to understand at this stage, everybody on the right now is just sitting back, and it's all defense now as we just watch you all like just ruin where you live. And the part about this that's the worst is you inevitably are going to have to hike local taxes, and then that's it. You ruin the old retirees, and then the young people you're already fucking them. They can't make it now, and there's no blaming the rich people. There's just no doing that. What you're going to blame the shareholders? These people are invested in the stock market, aka baby boomers. The baby boomers who are invested, who are the shareholders that are surviving off of the immense amount of profits that these companies are making. That's where their dividends and their retirement's coming from. Yeah, so that's it's just a mess now. It's just a mess, and we're gonna just watch things just come apart for you all, because now it's just seeing like what more could go wrong. That's what it's now at, where we're just like, something else is going to just go horribly wrong, and that keeps happening. More and more stuff just keeps going horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah, and so, all right, yeah, Disney's Doctor Who episode 2, and it bombs, totally bombs, because it's low culture. Peace.